Guess who's back? Hey, psst, it's me. So I had to take a week-long break because of a headset breakdown. But I got it back and running again, so I'm recording on my headset once again. And I'm gonna rank one of my favorite franchises of all time and possibly even my favorite franchise. And it's the Looney Tunes franchise. And this time we're gonna rank my Bugs and Daffy collection, which consists of 2 discs. Yes, just 2. A disc for both characters, with the Daffy disc having just 4 shorts on it and the Bugs disc having 40. Lastly, something about copyright. The Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies franchise is owned by Time Warner and some shorts are public domain. But I'm not sure if any of these shorts are. And I'm talking sad like this because I got copyright striked on my last video with James Bond, although I said which company owned the James Bond franchise. So better not do this time, YouTube, because I don't like that. Anyway, let's just move on to the first pick of the list. 18. And in last place is a very, very stupid short. Anyway, just a quick disclaimer before we get onto this list. We're gonna rank them from worst to best, of course, with a rating system like I did with the James Bond list. Anyway, we're gonna show with each short that comes on the list which year it is from, which director directed it, and what was the name, of course, the title. And in last place is Merry Kittens. This short is just awful. I genuinely don't like it, and I don't know if it's even a Looney Tunes short, because it wasn't noted anywhere. Editor Ben, can you maybe put this on the screen if it was a Looney Tunes short or not? It was on the disc, so it should be, but I'm not sure anymore. But the story is about 3 stupid kittens that ruin the day of a poor dog, and that's the entire cartoon. At least the kittens get wet at the end, so they get what they deserve because they're kittens and they don't like water, I guess. I also don't like that it's a cartoon on the Daffy Duck collection, but the Daffy isn't even in the cartoon. There's another one that we'll talk about in a short time on the Daffy disc where Daffy isn't in, and he only has 2 shorts out of the 4 on his disc, so that's kinda sad. This is probably the only short on this entire list, by the way, which I would not recommend to anyone. Avoid it. You can rather watch every Bosco cartoon and you'll feel better after this. So, let's move on to something at least okay and good. 17. So in number 17 we have another short on the Daffy disc without Daffy, and it's the last short without Daffy or Bugs in it. And it's Alibaba Bound. What a name. The story is about Porky trying to stop Alibaba from robbing a fort in the Sahara Desert, and yeah, that's just the entire short. He's just trying to stop those guys, the crew of Alibaba and Alibaba himself. And apart from some cool visual gags with some camels, this is just a very average short. It's not good, it's not bad. Let's just move on because I don't have that much to say about this one. I have more to say about other shorts like the next one. 16. So here in P16 we have the first short from the Bugs disc, and it's Rabbit Skin. The story is a little child bunny was chased by Pete Puma, who is one of my favorite villains because he's so stupid and it makes it fun. And he's also very tall in comparison to all the other characters. He's taller than the coyote, probably. And the little kid who was chased by Pete Puma falls into the hole of Bugs Bunny. When Bugs outsmarts Pete for the rest of the short, you can laugh, ha ha ha, running gags. And that's the entire short. Pardon. And it's really good, but because this DVD is the best of Bugs Bunny, it's just not as good as the rest. I mean, it's still one of the best shorts ever, but this is the best of the best. So you'll have to be very competitive in this field of shorts. Anyway, it's the worst Bugs Bunny short, but it's still one of the best Looney Tunes shorts. So let's move on to number 15. And in number 15 we have Big Top Bunny, another one of the Bugs shorts. And in the story, Bugs is bought by a circus and gets into an act with Bruno the Magnificent, a one-off character who is a bear and very egotistical. He tries to dispose Bugs because he wants his own act back, not with that stupid bunny. Not really stupid, but he finds him stupid. But it doesn't work out in the end. And yet again, the short is really amazing, but because the disc is the best of Bugs Bunny, it's not as good as some of the other cartoons on this list. So yeah, this is a really good short, but once again it falls a little short to the... Whoa, this is a really good short, but it falls short. That's mind-blowing. That's actually mind-blowing. But it falls just a little short to all the others. But let's just move on. 14. And in P14 we have the second to last Daffy short called Yankee Doodle Daffy. In this short, Porky has a casting bureau and is going on a holiday. But at the last second, Daffy comes in and acts as a good agent for some little duck. Daffy does everything to get Porky to give the duck a shot, and when he finally gives the duck a chance, the duck gets a heart problem or something. That should not be funny, and it really isn't. I don't know why they did that, but well, yeah, that's the 40s. But the rest of the short is pretty funny, by the way. And I especially like how Daffy is committed to give the little fella a shot. Because mostly he's egotistical in the late 40s and the early 50s. And before that he's screwball, but here he actually cares for somebody. So that's really cool to see. It's a really good short, and it actually stars Daffy instead of the other Daffy shorts from his disc without Daffy, so it's not really a Daffy short. Anyway, let's just move on to the next one. 13. And in P13 we have a Bugs short, and it's one of the more recognizable Bugs shorts. It's Bully for Bugs. Bugs didn't take a left turn at Albuquerque and ends up in a bullfighting arena. He should have just turned left at Albuquerque. And he gets into a fight with a bull, and that's the entire 7 minutes. And it's amazing. But it's still a little lower, because I find it a bit lacking, because there's not really a story or something. It's just Bugs fights a bull because the bull annoys him, which is basically Looney Tunes. Somebody annoys you, you fight him back. But it doesn't really work for me here. It's still a really, really amazing short. I would watch this any day of the week over Merry Kittens, because that's just shit. Or over cats. Just don't make shit with cats, it doesn't work out. Okay, if this video, by the way, raises 100 likes in a week from launch, then I'll watch Cats once again. This is the only time when I hope there's nobody who likes. Yeah, but Bugs is dressed as a bullfighter and he outsmarts the bull in all sorts of ways. This is a big recommend if you want to get into the Looney Tunes franchise, because it's a really good one, but you can still expand on it. So there are still better ones. It's not just like you have already had the best one, so you don't need to watch the rest. It's just, you see this short, you want more. That's basically with every Looney Tunes episode, but yeah. So just turn off this video and watch this short. It's called Bully for Bugs and it's probably on YouTube. Well, goodbye, but for the rest who stays, we'll move on to the next one. 12. And in P12 we have Water, Water Every Hair. Bugs' hole is filling with water and flushed away. No, not the movie, you silly fuck. Not flushed away the movie, just the short. He's flushed away in the short, okay. Anyway, he's washed into the lair of an evil scientist. And Yes, that's literally the name of the character. The character is named Evil Scientist. And because the scientist needs brain for his robot, he grabs Bugs for some brains for his robot. Whoa. Big brain moves. When Bugs runs away into the castle/lair, the scientist sends Gossamer, here referred to as Rudolph, after him. In the end, Gossamer is smalled down to the size of mice. The scientist has to catch Bugs himself because Gossamer is small and can't catch Bugs anymore. But he throws an axe and he hits a bottle of Aether, and now they're high on Aether. This is not for kids. They are literally high in this short. Although Looney Tunes is not for kids in this era. Nowadays it is, but not at this time. And that just really happened. The first time I saw this, I couldn't believe my eyes, but well, yeah. It happened. Pardon. And Bugs lands back in his bed, thinking it was all a dream. But then Tiny Gossamer passes by and he realizes that it isn't. The end. This short was better than I remembered it to be, so yeah, pretty good one here. 11. And in P11 we have the last Daffy short, so the entire top 10 is just Bugs Bunny shorts. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but if you like Bugs Bunny, that's a good thing. Sorry if you like Daffy. I also like Daffy, but this just isn't his best disc. But I still own it. Anyway, this short is amazing. To duck or not to duck. Daffy is shot. He's not shot, he has a bulletproof vest, but that's not what the hunter knows. And the hunter is Elmer Fudd, by the way. And Daffy wants to settle that with a boxing match, that he is also strong. Or something. Anyway, it's just fun. But the boxing match is unfair because the referee is a duck who is partisan for Daffy. But at the end, Elmer gets his revenge by hitting Daffy and the referee. This is definitely the best short on the Daffy DVD, and it's a big recommend. Anyway, let's just move on to number 10. 10. And at number 10 we have a classic short called My Bunny Lies Over the Sea. Bugs Bunny ends up in Scotland after forgetting to take a left turn in Albuquerque. And Bugs gets into a fight with a Scottish guy because he's in Scotland and it's not an Irish guy. You know why he got into that fight, by the way? He mistaked the bagpipes of the Scottish guy for a monster. Yes, that's the reason they gave us a termite terrace. Anyway, when the guy tries to shoot Bugs, Bugs goes full drag and challenges the guy for a game of golf. Bugs tries to win the golf game at all cost. And that's just how it ends, with him winning the game. It's not the best on this list, but I have a special place for it in my heart. So that's why it's in P10. Number 9. And at number 9 we have Ballad Bugs Bunny. Yosemite Sam runs for mayor, but when Bugs hears that he also runs... My notes are fucked up. Okay, wait a second. We're gonna try that again, and I'm not gonna cut this out because I'm lazy and because it's funny for you guys, I guess. Okay, take 2. Yosemite Sam runs for mayor, but when Bugs hears that, he also runs for mayor, and that's not why. He runs for mayor because Yosemite Sam wants to get rid of every last rabbit in the country. And then Bugs also goes for running mayor. Okay, we're back on track. They try to beat each other, and that's the entirety of this short. It's just amazing. Oh, and at the end, Bugs and Sam do Russian roulette. Pretty dark. Anyway, let's move on. 8. And at number 8, we have one of the first more recognizable cartoons of this list, and it's Baseball Bugs. The story is about Bugs, who says he can beat the Gas House Gorillas, the rival baseball club, on his own. Then they challenge him. He's replacing some 93-year-old dude who also ran the entire team on his own. So that's pretty sad. There are a lot of cool gags. My favorite are definitely the I got it, and save out gags. And the final is great too, with the ball being thrown all over New York City and Bugs winning in the end. This shot is just amazing, although they could have done a little more with it, because it's just gags, but well, yeah, that's Looney Tunes. But it's still peak Bugs Bunny, you know. Number 7. And at number 7 we have another classic Bugs short. It's Long-Haired Hair. Bugs sings a song on his banjo. I don't know how you speak that out in English anyway. He sings a song on his banjo near the house of an opera singer who is practicing for his big show and destroys Bugs' banjo. Because of the noise. Pretty sad. And later he also destroys Bugs' harp and his tuba. And that's when Bugs loses it and says, well, this means wow. So he visits the opera to annoy him to his death. Quite literally, he doesn't really die, but IRL he wouldn't have survived that. He makes his head shrink, plays like a big fangirl, and gives him a dynamite stick instead of a pencil to sign his autograph. And the final, Bugs dresses up as Leopold, a great conductor, who is now conducting the show and making the singer, who's called Dr. Jones, probably named after Chuck Jones and not Indiana Jones, for everybody who was wondering. I only catch this joke now, by the way, because this is the first time I watched it since 2 years or something, so I am older now. But Bugs make him sing very high and very low, and that makes for an amazing ending to this short. And I'm gonna kick in my Dutch accent. Yes. Let's move on to the next one. Number 6. And at number 6 we have Big House Bunny. And in this short, Bugs escapes some hunters and hides in a prison where Yosemite Sam mistakes him for a prisoner, and the shenanigans begin. Bugs tries to escape by launching himself with a cannon, which flies him over the the prison wall. And then he's trying to put Sam into a cell, but breaks him out. Yeah, that was just another way to fool him, because he ended up in the office of the warden. Also, Sam literally gets hung up in the gallows and electrocuted in an electric chair by Bugs. Then he mistakes Bugs for the warden and wants Bugs to leave prison. Is that legal? Afterwards, Sam himself is imprisoned and Bugs will annoy him for the rest of his time in prison. Very good one, big recommend. This was one of my childhood favorites. So, yeah, that's a fact that you did not want to know. But anyway, let's move on. Number 5. Here we have Hair Diving Hair, where Bugs owns a theater on a night where he has 15 cool acts that will be performed. I just completely fucked up the grammar in that sentence. And Yosemite Sam is attracted by the act of Fearless Freep, where the guy dives from a 500-meter high platform into a bucket of water. But then Bugs gets a letter that Freep can't come because of a storm, and Sam forces Bugs to dive because he wanted to see somebody dive off that plank. Pardon. But Bugs constantly tricks Sam to dive, and the end gag is very funny, with the laws of gravity completely ignored by, like in many other cartoons. And it all makes for one of my favorite shorts of all time, starring Bugs Bunny and Yosemite Sam. Number 4. And in number 4 we have the one and only Wabbit Twabble. Yes, I grew up with the one himself, Big Motherfucking Chungus. Anyway, Bugs bullies Elmer as Elmer tries to have a nice holiday in Yellowstone. You actually spell this version of Yellowstone with a J instead of a Y. One of my favorite Looney Tunes gags of all time occurs in this short, by the way, with Elmer getting the darkly colored glasses and puts it on his hat Jesus Christ. Should not be recording after 10 p.m. Note to myself. Yeah, so he thought it was night because of those glasses. When Elmer finds out it was Bugs who tricked him, Elmer encounters a bear who's later played by Bugs. And then the bear plays himself. Again, I don't know how to explain. Just watch this short Wabbit Twobble on YouTube. Talking Dutch now. But after Elmer packs his bags and leaves, he destroys the sign of Yellowstone, still with a J, and gets arrested and spends a lot of time in jail. But not alone, because the bear and Bugs are also jailed. I adore this episode, not just for the memes or the nostalgia. Big recommend for people who like Looney Tunes and for people who like memes. Number 3. And before we go on to the top 3, I want to say that if you are new to this channel, I would love to see you smash that subscribe and like button if you enjoy this video. And if you like Looney Tunes, stay around because I'll probably make another Looney Tunes episode. Anyway, number 3 is Rabbit Seasoning. This is the second short from Chuck Jones' hunting trilogy, where he puts Bugs, Daffy and Elmer against each other. In the shorts, Bugs tries to outsmart Daffy, and vice versa, with Bugs outsmarting Daffy almost all the time. And the funniest thing is that Elmer isn't even smart enough to kill probably only one of them. And the main gag is the beak gag with Daffy, and that Daffy lets Elmer believe that it's rabbit season whilst it's actually duck season. And the ending is just amazing, where we actually see the home of Elmer because he took Daffy there just to shoot him. And I just love the rivalry between Bugs and Daffy. So this is a very big recommend, but I also recommend the first one, from which I do not know the name. Maybe I can show it on the screen, or maybe not. Maybe you should just search Chuck Jones' hunting trilogy on YouTube. That sounds like a better idea. Just do that, I'm lazy. 2. And at number 2 we have the legendary What's Up Doc. Bugs' skull was lying in his Hollywood swimming pool, where Bugs tells his life story. Oh shitterinos, I just pressed away my notes. Okay, got it back and running again, okay. He was a dancer on a dance school and where he performed all sorts of dances. After graduation, Bugs joined a hit show where he played a part of a quartet for a few acts. After that, he got this big chance in a solo show where the star was sick and Bugs Bunny was fired for performance. I'll trash Bugs. He was living on the street until he got found by Elmer, and they did a big show together, and Bugs eventually got on Elmer's nerves. And when Elmer tries to actually kill him, and Bugs says, "What's up, dog?" the audience loved it. After the show, Elmer and Bugs were signed by Warner Brothers for the actual Looney Tunes shorts, and that's how it ended. Amazing short, definitely one of the best ever, and certainly from these 2 discs. Number 1. And at number 1 is my all-time favorite Looney Tunes short, Rabbit of Seville. A lot of people have actually What's Opera Dog above this one, but I just love this one more. Okay, so the story goes as followed. Bugs is being chased by Elmer and they end up in an opera. And that's the entire short, but it's so amazing with all the music performed by Bugs, Elmer don't understanding what's going on, and the amazing visual gags. You can leave the video and put Rabbit on Seville on YouTube search bar right now. I hope you'll enjoy this short, even if it's not on YouTube. I hope it's on YouTube for you, because otherwise you'll have to buy a disc on Google Marktplaats, that is Dutch, so you won't know what that is. But anyway, I want to thank you for watching, and I want to say to you, go watch every single short on this list, except Mary Kittens and maybe Eddie Baba Bound. And then I wish you a very nice day, evening, morning, night, and goodbye.